What's going on, everybody? C4, welcome back to the channel. Today we're for a new Madden 23 Legends rebuild where we are going to be rebuilding the Atlanta Falcons. And every single offseason, instead of drafting a college player with our first round pick, we are going to draft an Atlanta Falcon legend. After drafting said legend, we are going to go to a spin the wheel where every rating that player's ever had in Madden history is a different widget. Depending on which one we roll, that will be their base rating as a rookie as we go through up to 5 seasons trying to win a Super Bowl with the Atlanta Falcons. Episode 1 was the Colts. They have more NFL legends, Peyton Manning, Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison, etc. The Atlanta Falcon legends, though, for the most part, are more so Madden legends than they are regarded around the league. Maybe that's a little bit underselling them a bit, but 3 players in particular on the offensive side of the ball that we're going to try to get today. We have Mike Vick, who in particular in 04 is regarded as the most overpowered Madden quarterback of all time. We also can return Julio Jones, who is Julio Jones, one of the most overpowered height, weight, speed wide receivers in Madden and in real life. And I got a sleeper. Michael Turner at running back is someone that I'm going to try to bring in. Michael Turner in particular in Madden 10, in my opinion, the most underrated, not talked about, overpowered running back in Madden history. In Madden 10, he literally truck sticked you every time and embarrassed you. So look at the rest of the roster here for the Atlanta Falcons. Some interesting pieces. You know, you got Lindstrom on the O-line. He's good. Kyle Pitts is nice. Drake London at wide receiver. But a lot of work needs to be done. This is going to be a rebuild that's going to have to, you know, our draft picks outside of our legend picks gotta hit. We gotta have strong free agency classes because we need more than just upwards of 5 legends, I think, to put this team together. On the defense, you know, you got Terrell, you got Grady Jarrett, Arnold Ebiketie, the alien Troy Anderson, but there's still lots of positions that need to be filled to win a Super Bowl within this 5-year period. So without further ado, let's get into our first offseason, and I think you know what player is going to be our first legend. We were aggressive in our first free agency period before the draft, bringing in Jabril Peppers to the secondary and adding some reinforcement to the defensive line with 2 star dev linemen in Bilal Nichols and Greg Gaines. Fitting enough that our first pick is at pick 7 in the first round because the most iconic player that has ever existed, I think, for the Atlanta Falcons is none other than the quarterback out of Virginia Tech, the lefty, Michael Vick. All right, need to spin the wheel to figure out what rookie rating we're getting from Michael Vick. There's a couple 70s in there, which you don't want to roll. And we end up getting 07 Michael Vick, his second last year with the Falcons, 91 overall. 91 overall for Mike Vick. We got the 93 speed, 95 agility, 94 acceleration and all. And what's his throw power? 96. Now we do need to extrapolate that 79 throw accuracy, how it relates to Madden 23 ratings. He's still going to be absolutely unstoppable.
He'll go for the shotgun. Drops back, steps up into the pocket, gets the pass off.
Ooh. And the defense just can't seem to stop him.
Dropping back to pass on a first down. Rolling left, looking for the long completion. What a catch. The 20, the 10. Touchdown Falcons.
So take a look at our draft recap. Michael Vick, 91 hidden dev. Is he superstar? Is he got to roll at X Factor? We will find out, but he is going to be prolific. That is what I can guarantee. In the rest of the draft, we actually got some studs. Second round, we got Juan Colon, who is actually, you know, fringe scheme fit for our front 3, 6'3", 280 with a hidden dev, but he is a scheme fit as a power rusher. I doubled up on 2 massive defensive tackles, one which had 45 reps in the bench press. That's why I picked him. He has 99 strength, but he pop hidden dev looks like a great fit for our nose tackle. Same with Roby in the 4th round. Just another nose tackle. These guys are so cheesy to draft, and I figure for our front 3, you can never have too many of those type of players. So here's how our team looks going into year 1 of the Michael Vick era. Wow, I didn't realize how bad our wide receivers were. We got Drake London, and I mean, Kyle Pitts is good enough to include in the mix. So we're gonna have to utilize those 2 weapons. I do think wide receiver, we have 2 really good legendary options to pick from for this offseason. Will be the direction we go next. Lindstrom won lineman of the year last year. So he is up to a superstar, getting the rare lineman dev trade increase, but we'll take it. I know in real life he's like a PFF darling, so that helps. And on the defensive side, we're going with some of the younger players. I'm gonna go with Cologne, Gaines, Jarrett, and even then you could argue maybe we get one of the younger guys in there, Mr. 99 strength himself, Robinson, potentially. Troy Anderson went up a dev trait after his very productive season last year, so we're going to continue to force feed him some reps. as we also brought in Peppers and free agency superstar, AJ Terrell superstar. This team could surprise a little bit, but I am a little worried about the depth at wide receiver beyond Pitts and London. Let's see what happens year one. Greg Gaines has become surplus requirement. We're getting some trade offers for it. I'm looking at it, man. I'm looking at what could be our best potential option. And I see Leo Chenal. You're telling me I can pair the two pink slip linebackers together? We're taking that every day of the week. There's been growing pains in our first year of the Michael Vick era, bringing him back, but a silver lining. Arnold Ebiketie in season, got a dev trade scenario. He's up from star to a superstar pass rusher. And then year one didn't go the way we wanted. 5-12, kind of in line with where the Falcons were when we started off, where they are in real life. We did have a top 5 rushing offense. Full disclosure, we got Michael Vick. We have our best player is a tight end. The perfect playbook is the Ravens, where they have Lamar Jackson and their best playmaker is a tight end in Mark Andrews. So it's never been an easier decision for like how we want to run the offense. And I think we saw some pretty ridiculous numbers here. Vick won Offensive Player of the Week once or twice, and he didn't have a whole lot of passing ever. So I'm excited to see what his rushing numbers are. 3,400 yards passing, 29 touchdowns, 17 picks is not good. He did have over 1,000 yards rushing. 11 rushing touchdowns, a long of 80, which is pretty good. 1,000 yards, 8 there for Cordero Patterson. We had just over 1,000 yards for Kyle Pitts, 8 touchdowns, 981 and 8 for Drake London. But I mean, we desperately need a wide receiver. We're going to have to figure out which one we really want. Troy Anderson continues to be a tackle machine. 150 tackles for him. We got 8.5 sacks for Grady Jarrett, 6.5 for our new superstar pass rusher, Arnold Ebiketie. And on the back end, 4 picks for AJ Terrell, 3 for Casey Hayward. MVP went to Aaron Rodgers, but in the NFC, we have Offensive Rookie of the Year going to Michael Vick. He's already an X Factor spoiler, so there's no dev trait that can be gained. It's just good to know that he hit the ground running. Let's sim to the end of the year, figure out what our final dev traits kind of stand at, get into our second offseason, get our second legend. The Cowboys won the Super Bowl, so I mean, we don't need to talk about that. Looking at the offense, Michael Vick is now a 94 X Factor, and it's Michael Vick, so clearly you're going to have Escape Artist as his ability. For the rest of the offense, no other dev traits, up and or down. On the defensive side of the ball, Robinson, our 99 strength rookie D tackle, pops as a superstar. He wasn't even playing a whole lot, so we got to kind of correct that. AJ Terrell goes from superstar up to an X Factor. We saw Ebiketie hit that in season, and Troy Anderson, who's been a tackle machine, is now up to a superstar dev. For free agency, I want to go heavy in the secondary because my legends list does not have any defensive backs. I mean, sure, Deion Sanders did play for the Falcons, but I don't really have any basis of Madden rating to go off of. So we went out, we got Bryce Hall, who is 26 star dev, and Grant Delpit. Sucks because I like Richie James, but 25 superstar safety, you got to take that to pair with Jabril Peppers. So spoiler, I feel because he's still in the game, we want his face scan and everything. Julio Jones was always going to be the pick. We still have another good wide receiver that we can get later down the line, but Julio Jones was the most overpowered player remaining. We desperately need a wide receiver 1. Someone that can come in. Yes, we have Kyle Pitts. We can move Drake London to wide receiver 2 for the time being, but Julio Jones, you know, he might be right after Michael Vick if you're ranking the Falcon legend. So we're going to give up our first round pick, which we would have used to draft a created Julio Jones, and we're going to bring him in. But now we got to spin to figure out what rating we're getting for the dominant wide receiver. Let's go. Julio Jones rating. It can go anywhere from rookie rating, which is 78, to his peak. We get almost his peak. We get Madden 17, 96 overall Julio. Look at it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. He's back. We didn't have a first round pick, giving up for Julio Jones. Second round, though, I got I got to figure out the right call here, fellas. We got Harriet at right tackle. At left tackle, we have Antoine Matthews and Connor Goldman. Jake Matthews ain't getting any younger. I feel we have less. I'm going to go Goldman. I feel like he's the guy that has to be our pick. Double elites for agility. At least we pop with a dev. He can be left or right tackle for us for the future. Shit. I wasn't even recording. This guy was UDFA grade. Jared Pritchett, center. Just BPA. I was like looking for centers that could kick into guard. Nice. The draft recap, including Julio Jones. Connor Goldman was a 73 hidden dev offensive tackle. Might be able to start at right tackle sooner than later. Pritchard did pop with the dev. which I was shocked by, but he's 66, so there's a very long way for him to go. He won't be able to slide in and be a day one starter for us. And the rest of it just adding solid depth. It's the Julio Jones year, no doubt about it. Year 2 for the Falcons, and we have a little bit of a change here. Cordero Patterson retired, so we're going to Algier as our starting running back for the time being. But we got Julio Jones now on the outside with Drake London, with Kyle Pitts. Should be a pretty damn good passing attack. Goldman, the rookie, will get the start on offensive tackle, but nothing else has really changed on the offense. Defensively, we're going with some of our young bucks there on that front three alongside the veteran Grady Jarrett. AJ Terrell at X Factor. Bryce Hall coming via free agency, as well as Grant Delpit, should help the secondary. Still lacking a pass rusher. I feel like that may be where we're looking next. I do have a pass rusher on my list whose lowest rating was an 89. Can you guess who it is? Feel free to comment, see if you can guess what guy I'm thinking of. It's kind of easy, I think. But all in all, man, this team here that's kind of been struggling. We have yet to go over 500. I think we can get 8, 9, 10 wins this year. We're 2-0. I'm just gonna interject because when I'm recording like this, I usually have my earbuds in. I get on shuffle. One of the most underrated rap songs of the 2000s. That's very fitting for this rebuild. And if you know, you know. Jermaine Dupri, Welcome to Atlanta. Both the regular version and the remix. S-tier track. Carry on. So we just lost to a 3-win Bucks team because playbooks, but Cologne, our star dev pass rusher from a year ago, much like Ebiketie, gets an in-season superstar dev trade increase. Crushing it with the sim. I mean, he's developing into a very nice player for us, up to an 81 with that boost. Where, I mean, he's fringe, but that is a guy fringe. 280, 6'3", 280 that can play in a front three. Has great athleticism, great power. It's a nice pass rusher for us. Our goal for year 2 was to go above 500. We failed to do so, but 8-9 was good enough to win the NFC South. And we have to run back a Week 18 game here against the Giants. We'll see how far this playoff run can go, and then we'll look at a recap from the season. Beat the Giants, and then when it actually mattered, couldn't beat the Giants. And, I mean, you look at the team ranks, starting to see the downside of the Ravens playbook is you just don't throw the football a whole lot. As Michael Vick goes for 3,100 yards passing, 22 touchdowns, 7 picks. Did almost, pretty good on the ground. 800 yards, 6 touchdowns there, over 1,000 for Algier. Receiving 9 and 6 for Drake London, 6 and 7 for Kyle. Maybe we need to go like Eagles playbook, where we dial back a little bit on the rushing numbers, but you actually have a chance of a 1,000-yard receiver, which just, because if we stick with this, it's just going to deplete the dev traits of Julio and Kyle Pitts, which we don't want to see happen. Defense, Troy Anderson, lots of tackles, which is good to see. 13.5 sacks, Grady Jarrett, 3 pick. I mean, honestly, from a statistical standpoint, maybe one of the worst years. Even though we made the playoffs, no one really stood out. And I'm worried about dev trait regression before we get to the offseason. The only award we got was Chris Lindstrom getting lineman of the year for the 2nd time, and I just thought it was kind of funny that there is a new Wentz quarterback in Philadelphia. So it was an all-playbook Super Bowl, so who cares? Couldn't care less. I want to look at our schemes, and I do want to switch it up just a little bit. That Ravens playbook is just not sustainable whatsoever. So we're going to go to the Philadelphia Eagles. A superior playbook. West Coast zone run? No, power run. Sticking with the same thing. Just a little bit better playbook. Throw the football a little bit more. Utilize your weapons. Year 1, it made a little bit more sense with Michael Vick because he only had Kyle Pitts at tight end. Now that we're getting Julio and we'll be getting only more weapons, it makes sense to go to something a little less one-dimensional. Looking at our offense as it relates to dev traits, we lost X Factor on Julio already. That is exactly why you changed the playbook to try to just maximize his strengths. Goldman, our hitting dev tackle that played a lot as a rookie, is only a star. Luckily, we didn't lose a dev trait on Kyle Pitts. On the defensive side, Cologne went up to a superstar. We had AJ Terrell regress down from an X Factor. Jabril Peppers progressed up from a superstar, now an X Factor at safety. We lost a superstar in Grant Delpit as well. Surprised with his breakout year. Grady Jarrett's dev did not go up or down. So, not a great year, all things considered, as it relates to dev traits. But we get to add a 3rd legend to the team. I got an idea where we'll go. His dad was considered, but I think given the context of our secondary, J.C. Horn is good enough with the family connection. Joe Horn. I think of Joe Horn, I do think of, either between the Falcons or the Saints. But we'll bring his kid on to the back end of the defense where he's going to be one of our best corners. Great compliment to AJ Terrell. As it relates to the defensive side of the ball, as I stated, it's easier for this series to kind of go within the context of the Madden era. If not, Deion Sanders prime time would have been one of my top picks. But we're going to take a look here at underrated pass rusher John Abraham, who's a two-time first-team All-Pro. In 7 years with the Falcons, averaged 10 sacks a year. In 2010, made first-team All-Pro at 32 years old with 13 sacks. He was an absolute monster, and he's going to help out our pass rush here. All right, finding our rookie rating for John Abraham. A low of 89 in Madden 11, a high of 95 in Madden 10. We get Madden 09, 92 overall John Abraham. Actually, surprisingly, in Madden 2009, John Abraham was the highest overall player on the Falcons roster. I don't want to even a gameplay. I want to do the bench press with John Abraham. That's what we're doing. Oh my God, I'm so rusty at this. I remember back in the day, I used to be able to get like 30. Oh no, I don't have what it takes, man. I'm an old man now. Let's see if we can get, I don't know, 10. How about, man, why does stuff like this needs to come back? How about Johnny? If I get 15, I might have to just give him like a higher strength in our video. How about, oh my God, we're cooking! 16, oh, okay. Man. Ground just continue to build on the offensive line. We got Michael Finnegan, first round, just slipping out. Hell yeah, I'll take that. Really a little worried about the strength, but could be a decent rating. So we got John Abraham here, 92 overall rookie out of South Carolina with a hidden dev trait. Clearly, 96 finesse move. Whew. Good luck. Good luck. We're going to be quick out the line. He's going to be him, Ebiketie coming off the edge. We got Finnegan in the second round, hidden dev tackle, which is huge. Rest of the draft was kind of average, but it's all about Johnny Abraham and helping on that defense. Year 3 for the Atlanta Falcons. I expect to get back into the playoffs. Even with the slight regression for Julio Jones, he's going to be dominant. Hopefully the playbook change helps utilize all of our weapons on the offensive side of the ball. The offense comes back exactly the same. The defense, massive additions. We get Joe Horn's kid, JC Horn, who's going to be starting for us on the outside. We get John Abraham as a pass rusher. I expect 8-9 has been our best record so far. I think we can get 10 wins this year. And about halfway through the rookie season, John Abraham popped as a superstar dev. Not all these legends will always be X factors, ones that deserve to. Michael Vick, Julio Jones will. Others will be super. I don't know if we'll ever have like a star or a normal dev. That seems kind of counterproductive, but John Abraham crushing it so far as a rookie. He's actually also had a dev trait scenario, which unfortunately we missed. Hopefully we hit on one. Year 3, and we're in the playoffs. Another NFC South title, this time a little bit more respectable with a 10-7 record. Taking a look at how we achieve this brand new playbook, going from the Ravens to the Eagles, and seems to be a little bit better. We're still getting pretty good rushing numbers, especially from a touchdown standpoint with Michael Vick. My God, I think it might be time to add a certain running back. If Algier's doing this, what would another running back do? Julio's eating. Hopefully he gets back that X factor. Drake London had a nice year. Would like to see maybe a little bit more Kyle Pitts. Even that's still not a bad year for a tight end. 9 touchdowns on almost 800 yards. 127 tackles for Troy Anderson. We got 18 sacks, 18 TFLs for John Abraham, 7.5 for Graydon Jarrett, 7 for Ebiketie, and interceptions pretty solid across the board. Maybe we'd like to see JC Horn get a little bit more active, but last year we were the 31st offense. This year, borderline top 10. Michael Vick is your MVP. You love to see that. For the rest of the individual awards as it relates, John Abraham is Defensive Rookie of the Year, which should play well from the superstar that he pulled from drafting. Maybe he'll go right up to an X Factor. That would be pretty cool. Chris Lindstrom is just copy and paste lineman of the year. John Abraham's also the top linebacker. So I think we are going to be seeing, we gave him a modest superstar. Maybe even short sold him, giving him superstar. I think the game is like, nah, we're going to make him an X Factor for you. So it'd be cool to not be one and done with the MVP quarterback. And we are one and done with the MVP quarterback, losing to the Seattle Seahawks 28-24. I mean, Michael Vick didn't really have a bad game, to be honest with you. You can't lose to Ryan Tannehill. And John Abraham, I mean, Michael Vick's 99-99. There's not much that, him winning MVP is going to do to his stock. But John Abraham, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Linebacker of the Year, and he ends his rookie campaign as a 97 X Factor. Eagles won the Super Bowl, which we can live with that. But more importantly, looking at the yearly awards, I love seeing John Abraham. I love seeing Mike Vick show up. And as it relates to dev traits, I would love to see Julio get back his X factor. I don't know if he was dominant enough this year, but at least he's trending in the right direction. And that is kind of the case. No dev trait regression outside of Jake Matthews, who's he's getting out there in age a little bit. Might need to make that transition there. He lost his dev on the defensive side of the ball. Delpit lost all of his dev traits. Troy Anderson lost his superstar. Stings a little bit. Nothing too crazy in free agency. I'm going to try to get a Georgia Bulldog, especially with Grant Delpit's regression. And we actually land him. I thought, we didn't even have the top bid, but Lewisine, welcome to Atlanta. Welcome back. Anyways. Our fourth legend is a player that I think is like the most underrated good Falcon in real life, in Madden, whatever. All walks of Falcons. I don't think he gets enough respect. And did you know, I didn't know this, that in 2008, Peyton Manning won the MVP with like a ridiculous 4,000 yards passing, 27 touchdowns, 12 picks, which is like a middle of the park year. But the runner-up for MVP that year was Michael Turner. I did not know that. I knew he had some good years. He had 1,700 yards, 17 touchdowns, but he was runner-up for the MVP. Only a 5-year window here for Michael Turner. God, I'd love to roll that Madden 10 95 rating. We get Madden 12 93, the second best that we could have rolled. I'll take it. And Madden 12, a game many regard as the last great Madden. Michael, let's go run someone over quick with Michael Turner, just real quick. Come on, let's run over Troy Polamalu here. Boom! He ran over. More than enough juice. Stiff arm, get out of here, boy. We got James Harrison there too. Could you give me a harder defense? I just picked like auto pick here. Oh yeah, just give me Troy Polamalu, James Harrison, and Jesus Christ. That's who I'm going up against. Full transparency, after we look at Michael Turner, just 1 second. I just simmed the draft after that, and the computer hooked us up with a 74 running back, normal dev. In the third round, we got a 75 hidden dev corner, Thomas Peterson, out of Texas, I probably would have drafted him anyways. He's very athletic. We got a stud wide receiver, Nick Owens, out of NC State, 75 hidden dev. This is all CPU. No, I can't take any credit, but I can take credit is acknowledging just how damn good Michael Turner was. 93 overall, 99 carrying, 98 trucking, 98 stiff arm, 85 strength. Oh boy. So for offense going into year 4, the addition of Michael Turner is going to be a massive boost. We're pulling the old Jason Peters for Jake Matthews, who's just kind of regressing. So instead of just releasing him, we're going to move him to guard and see if a little bit more clanging and banging, less so on his agility and quickness, will be a benefit to add a little bit more life to his career. On the defensive side, we're ready to rock and roll, man. John Abraham and the defense is ready to absolutely get after it. Scene is going to start at strong safety. I want to see Horn. I want to see Horn ball. I want to see him go off. I want to see the offense go off. I want to see another divisional title, and I want to see a freaking playoff victory. I'm sick and tired. 2 straight years, one and done. Year 4, the Atlanta Falcons get their 3rd straight NFC South title, going 12-5. We get a winnable matchup. Winnables you're going to see here for our first playoff victory to not be one and done against the 9-8 Seattle Seahawks, but the transition to the Philadelphia Eagles playbook has been exactly what this team needs. Michael Vick going off, 4,400 yards, 35 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions, protecting the football very well. Michael Turner, as a rookie legend that is, 1,300 yards, 19 touchdowns, 6 and 8 for Mike Vick. On the receiving side, 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns, Julio Jones, Drake London with a nice year, Kyle Pitts, good for yardage, I suppose. And on the defense side, Troy Anderson went off, 117 tackles, 7 interceptions. Should be getting back that superstar. Dev Abraham, 18 sacks, 10.5 for Ebiketie, 6 for Grady Jarrett. But interceptions way up. Bryce Hall, 5 picks, 4 for AJ Terrell, 3 for JC Horn, 3 for Grant Delpit. Exactly what you want to see for a top 10 offense. Have a defense playing that well. Michael Vick, runner-up for the MVP. Joe Burrow was able to defeat us, knock us off for that award. Michael Turner, Offensive Rookie of the Year, which should bode well. Michael Vick is Quarterback of the Year. We had Jonathan Abram, Linebacker of the Year. And that should bode well for Michael Turner because, much like Jonathan Abram, we weren't just going to make him ridiculously overpowered. I felt it was fair for someone like Michael Turner because I think he's underrated. We didn't give him an X Factor right away, but with that Rookie of the Year, we might very well have an X Factor running back going into the 5th and final year of this rebuild as we look for a Super Bowl. But we are firstly looking for our first playoff victory after back-to-back years of 1-and-done in the playoffs. This is a super winnable matchup, and we are able to get our first playoff victory, 31-28 over the Seattle Seahawks in a game that I assume Michael Vick played pretty well. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions for Michael Vick. Could not stop Kenneth Walker. Michael Turner, 70 yards. Drake London, 77. Kyle Pitts, 75 and 2 touchdowns. Julio Jones also had a receiving touchdown. And on the defensive side of the ball, 2 TFLs and a sack for Grady Jarrett as the Falcons move on. Next up in the division round, we have the 9-8 Minnesota Vikings. If we can have AJ Terrell, say, lock down Justin Jefferson, we should be able to get to the championship, which we do. That was a close one, 27-21 over the Minnesota Vikings, a team that might have worse playoff luck than the Atlanta Falcons. 4 touchdowns for Michael Vick. Hell yeah, playing like not the MVP runner-up. He's playing like last year's MVP. And now we're taking on the 12-5 Rams, who are solid 85s across the board, but there's just levels to this. We are honestly the best team. We should beat the Rams. 6-point overall difference. Hopefully that shows up on the field, and it does. 31-24. We will get a quick look at that box score as here in year 4, you might not even have to go a full year 5. My apologies to Roddy White if we don't hit that, but we're going to try and win the Super Bowl here against the Cincinnati Bengals. We're going to hop in. Hell yeah, we're going to hop in. And we're going to see just what this team can do. I want to run someone over with Michael Turner. I want to hit a bomb with Michael Vick. Michael Vick, you know what he has done this playoffs? He's protected the football. I don't think we have a single interception yet with Mike Vick. Maybe in that first game, Michael Turner and Vick, just a dynamic backfield showing off here. Pitts had a decent game. AJ Terrell, 13 tackles, 3.5 sacks for John Abraham. And we are Super Bowl bound. Let's hop in. Let's play some moments and hopefully get another successful legend rebuild in the books. In a matchup, which is the MVP this year, Joe Burrow, going up against the MVP last year, Michael Vick. I think this is going to be absolute fireworks. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think it's got to be more so what offense wants it more versus what defense wants it more. And I think we are going to be super hungry. I think we're going to move the football well like we do here on the opening drive. Striking first with a touchdown. Back-to-back. We want it to be over. I mean, my kids are home in about 10 minutes, so this could be perfect. Let's come in out here on 3rd and inches and run somebody over with Michael Turner. I mean, how would you stop this? How would you? You'd be like, all right, we got to watch Michael Vick so he doesn't break our ankles, or we can just watch out for Michael Turner and hopefully he doesn't break our freaking sternums. There's a nice stiff arm there. Move the chains. He's sitting on 42 yards and a touchdown. And we just punched that one in, man. Where is the white flag? That's early payout. Oh, my God. Let's come back in the red zone. Maybe we can get Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts, Vick to Pitts. Imagine if that was a thing. You had LG Crumpler back in the day. Yeah, he was cool. But imagine, oh, just in front of the corner. Drake London, but, you know, LG Crumpler was cool. You know what's cooler? Kyle Pitts. My God, 38-0. 45-0. 48-0. They get something late in the game. My God. That is an ass kicking. I don't think I've seen that one-sided of a Super Bowl yet in Madden 23. Michael Vick, can't believe it. I think that was the Colts rebuild. We only had to get 4 legends in the Colts rebuild to put them over there. Maybe that's the magic number. Maybe when every year we have to go to 5, that's our first disappointing rebuild. But the additions of Michael Vick, of Julio Jones, of John Abraham, and Michael Turner, that is the combination alongside current good Falcons. Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Troy Anderson, put him some respect, Grady Jarrett, AJ Terrell, Arnold Ebiketie, bringing in J.C. Horn, get some more family ties. A couple pieces away. I mean, obviously, when you use that as your sample size, all it takes is the Falcons to get generational players for them to win the Super Bowl. But that was fun, man. Very fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it, man. I will say, we are always looking for suggestions in the comments about what legend rebuild you guys want to see next. I saw a lot of Philadelphia Eagles. I get it. I'm, a lot of Eagle fans on the channel. We will get to the Eagles, but there's still a couple good ones out there, man. I think the Steelers are gonna be fun because I like to keep it within the optics of the Madden era, so I can actually pull a Madden rating for them. You look at the Steelers current era. I mean, you get the Troy Polamalu's, James Harrison, Ben Roethlisberger's, guys like that, versus the Mean Joe Greens and the guys of the years of latter past. Same for the Philadelphia Eagles. Like, we would get Brian Dawkins and stuff like that. I don't know how much we get, like, Reggie White. And then there's also a case, do we take it that seriously, or do I just straight up give guys that don't have Madden ratings 99s because they're 99 type players? But I do want to get your guys' opinion on what team you want to see next in the comment section below. If it is your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Would love to break 160,000 subscribers on the channel before the new year. In a couple days' time, that would be pretty cool if we could do so. And I will see you guys back in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Peace out. Love ya. Have a good one.